Tim, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm surviving. I'm surviving like a salt Thursday afternoon, man. Working for the weekend. Lover boy.
That's a terrible song. That's a terrible song.
It's
terrible
not,
band. Yeah, it's terrible.
Why so angry? Look,
I'm
there's a
not
time
angry.
and a place for Lover
So
boy.
here you go. All right. So look. So if I said to you, and I don't expect you to know this, but Alan Young.
Alan Young. I remember
Nothing.
Alan Funt was Candid Camera, I believe.
Now you're going to hate me for saying this, but Alan Funt lived in Croton-on-the-Hudson for a time being. No, I'm just saying.
There's no.
Okay. There's no way. Right. I know Jackie Gleason, Gloria Swanson.
I know, and you filmed the movie Reds there. Come on, man.
But completely, I digress. So Alan Young was in a sitcom. I think it's considered sitcom. Lasted about 6 years, early 60s, about 140 episodes or though. And the star of the sitcom wasn't Alan Young, but it was actually, now this gives it away, it was a horse.
Oh, my good. All right. So Alan Young was Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed was the horse.
No.
So,
oh yeah, Mr. Ed was the horse, right? So
right.
Alan Young was Wilbur.
Was Wilbur Post, and you're saying to yourself, why are you bringing up?
Why are we talking about Mr. Ed here, Guy?
Because for the first time in like 6 months, Wilbur Ross, the Commerce Secretary in the Trump administration, is making his voice heard. And I only bring it up, not that I really care about politics, but all of a sudden now he said that the story of 2021 is going to be the debt and the deficit. All of a sudden he seems to care about it.
Yeah, where's Wilbur been? I mean,
right.
There's all kinds of metaphors now we can say in terms of out to pasture and whatnot. I would never say those. But why are we hearing from Wilbur right now? And who do you think is older, Wilbur Ross or Mr. Ed?
Wow, great question. Mr. Ed, the actual horse, who's probably since left us because that sitcom is now, 50-something years old.
And obviously he went to the glue factory, right?
That's no, not necessarily. Not necessarily. They might have given him a better send-off than just a glue factory or the dog food factory. So I'm not with you on that one. I think that Wilbur Ross, if I had to guess, is 81 years old. Total guess.
I'm going to take the over. I'm taking the over, and I bet Alan Young. So if that came out in this, I bet Alan Young is younger than Wilbur Ross. So
Wilbur Ross, great job by you. Great job by you.
What do we?
He is going to turn 83 at the end of November. So well done taking the over. Done taking the over. I got to find the other Wilbur. I don't even know if he's still alive. But anyway, my point is nobody cares about these things. But here's one for you. Is Wilbur Ross talking about the debt and the deficit being a story for 2021? Is that a tacit acknowledgement that Joe Biden has won this election? Interesting question.
Is it? Well, look, I just find it interesting that we're having that conversation now when nobody cared before, and the deficit, and this is, it's always so challenging to talk around politics without trying to sound political. What's pretty obvious to me is that at one point Republicans were seen as the fiscally austere, responsible political party. The Democrats were the socially aware, socially responsible, and they'd find some meeting of the minds in the middle. The last couple Republican administrations haven't spent a lot of time focused on fiscal responsibility, and there's been a lot of problems with the social responsibility of the last couple of Democrats, if you ask me. But back to should we be attacking or fearful of the fiscal deficit in 2021, 10 days after the election, or any more so than we were 10 days before the election? The answer is no. Right. I mean, nothing has changed. And fiscal stimulus, which is going to run us deeper into deficit in many parts of this country, is critical. There are businesses, there are small businesses going out, and somehow we found a way to look past it. Somehow we found a way to have the Federal Reserve make it clear that they can basically print money and they can fund a deficit if they keep rates low enough. And I think that's a scary proposition. But look, whether you're listening to Mr. Ed or whether you're listening to Arnold the pig on Green Acres. Yeah, and by the way, I grew up on Green Acres.
Please Don't Eat the Daisies. Remember that big Shaggy? That was a great sitcom.
Yeah, well, that was, and then
whatever.
There was all those Disney movies that were involved with animals too. I mean, there was the Shaggy DA, I believe Kurt Russell, Snake Plissken, found his way in. He was working with a lot of animals, but
a lot of range. You gotta give Kurt Russell his due. There's a lot of range. A lot of range.
Goldie Hawn. Nothing wrong with that. And if you go back to if I turned on Miracle, the story of the 1980 Lake Placid U.S. Olympic team tonight, knowing what I know about the outcome, I got a picture signed by all the hockey players on my wall that I bought at some charity event one night when I had a few too many. And that movie will make me tear up tonight if I watch it, because Kurt Russell moved me. And
he moved you. So was it more a movie about Herb Brooks, or was it more a movie about the team, or was it some amalgam of the two?
You know what? I think it was really more about Herbie. We call him Herbie, guy.
Sure you do.
And who had a nice stint on Broadway and took the Broadway Blue Shirts to the '79 Stanley Cup Finals
with the the smallish, impish type of players that
Oh my God, Mark Pavlich, Pat Hickey.
Look at you. I don't know if Pat Hickey was. I like what you did there. I'm not sure Hickey, but that's okay. That's okay. I mean,
Dave
I like where
Farish
you're going.
On the blue line.
Sure,
John
big hip
Davidson
check guy.
In between the pipes. JD.
Mm-hmm. I think I think Herb had Van Beesbrook in the pipes, but I understand what you're saying. Herb, this. I mean, we're going. I don't know how we got to Herb Brooks, but
I don't think the Beezer was between the pipes. I think you're way too early on the Beezer.
Before you get us out of here, I'm going to look up Herb Brooks, Rangers, and I'm going to find you the goalie. But go ahead.
All right,
finish us out here.
So look, whether it's Lassie, Mr. Ed, Arnold, or Rin Tin Tin, should we be focused on the deficit right now and markets which are trading off today? And we're here to talk about markets, not just today, but almost, in concept, many days around today. Should we be focused on the deficit? The answer is no. We should be focused on finding normalization to the economy, obviously to be finding a cure for a vaccine. And I think that's what was important about this week. I think the confidence that comes with a vaccine is more important right now than being worried about a deficit. There's plenty of problems to be worried about with this economy, but how we're going to pay for it, that's been yesterday's problem. We might as well turn the clock back to 1962. When did Mr. Ed come out?
Okay, so here you go, by the way. Mark Pavlich, Mr. Ed came out, I think, in 1961. Just as an FYI, JD was in nets, but Eddie Mio led the team in wins with 16. And if you could tell me who had the most assists on that team, I'd be impressed. I'm not expecting you to do it.
The 79 Rangers team?
82 Rangers, 83
Mike
Rangers.
Rogers.
Mike Rogers led the team in points. Great job. And that's a great job. But Reijo Ruotsalainen.
Are you serious? Did I get that? That's sweet.
Mike Rogers in points, yeah. And penalty minutes was Dave Maloney. Anyway, we got to get out of here. But
we got to get out of here.
Point is this.
Can I leave you with this question?
Yeah,
and maybe you can tell me this answer tomorrow. First of all, by the way, my dad called me earlier today to tell me that, Tim, it's pomade. So just so you know, it's pomade. It's pomade. That's the first thing. The second question I have for you is, why were there two Darrens on Bewitched?
Because Dick York had a really bad back and he had to bow out, and then Dick Sargent came in, or vice versa. But that's the answer.
There you go. I mean, I think I didn't expect that you would know the answer to that. So with that, I go like this.
Yeah. Tabitha.
Bye.
See you later.